What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Welcome, everybody. I am Love Coach Scott Katamas, and welcome to the Awakening World. I want to recognize all the people in our Zoom room. A lot of our regular friends are with us, and I see that we've got some new friends, which is really wonderful. And whether you're old or new friend, let us know where you are geographically. That's really, really always fun. And be ready for an interactive, wonderful evening. I also want to welcome all of you who are watching on Facebook or YouTube. We're going to do our best to see what your comments might be, but honestly, it's easiest if you come directly into the Zoom room with us. And that's easy. Just go to globalpeacetribe.com, globalpeacetribe.com, click register, and you can register for free with the promo code of new friend. Doesn't matter whether it's upper or lowercase, new friend. And today it's all about community. It's interesting as a coach, I've noticed that 30, 40 years ago, everybody was looking for their soulmate, their twin flame. But now more and more people are looking for their community. And tonight's all about an incredible organization. I'm so excited about it. Talk about new friend. I'm making so many new friends through SoulSearch. And so we're going to be learning all about this wonderful new online community. It's a way we can all connect with each other. And in a moment, we're going to meet Tanjila, who is the founder and creator of SoulSearch. By the way, I have COVID, so bear with me. My brain is functioning at about 50%. But I'm really happy to be here. And I'm especially happy to introduce my teaching partner and the person I've been doing this show with for over 2 years, who is a great lover and builder of community herself. Hello, Trish.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm really excited to hang out with Tanjila again and her people and make them our people. Scott, you were an amazing networker and you were a great community builder as well. So it's so nice to see you all. Just sending you all in the room and on Facebook and everywhere else that you might be.
Thank you. You look angelic tonight, by the way.
Oh, what does that mean?
Very, very light, very light. Very, oh God, am I doing it again? Is that uncool?
You know what I was just thinking? I was like, oh, maybe the light in the room's too bright. Am I being lost?
Yeah. It's like the husband who says to his wife, oh my God, you look so beautiful today. And she goes, oh, what? Do I usually not look beautiful? Right? Yeah. Well, all right. No further ado, we are going to bring on the wonderful Tanjila. I am so enjoying working with this woman. She is a force of nature, let me tell you. And she's had possibly the most diverse background of anyone I know. This is someone who has lived in Bangladesh, New Orleans, Saudi Arabia, Afghanistan, Sedona, um, multiple cultures, has explored many different spiritual paths, religions, and has a deep, compassionate understanding of the human species. And most of all, she's brilliant, she's smart, but she's really fun. She's really, really fun. And I love how you bring so much fun to what you do. And yet she's really efficient. Everything that needs to get done, she gets it done with fun. So thank you, Tanjila. You're a wonderful new partner that I'm really grateful for.
Oh, thanks so much, Scott. And thanks, Trish. And thanks, Debbie. Great to be with all of you again. And excited to be with everyone here at the Global Peace Tribe. And I'm so happy to be here with my dear friends and SoulSearch community and really just dive into what we're all creating together as we step into this new paradigm that we're shifting into. And for those of you who aren't familiar, SoulSearch is a global online platform for the new paradigm for spirituality and consciousness. And it's a platform where people can come to search for and explore practitioners, healers, modalities, find experiences, and also connect with community. And so if you haven't done so already, I really encourage you guys to visit www.soulsearch.io and jump in, and you can go to the community section and join and see what's going on there. We ask questions every day, and we have lots of events being posted every day and groups. And so it's just really a fun way for everyone to start connecting and building community globally as we step into this new paradigm together.
And since you brought it up, and we'll come to this website a couple times, here it is. It's soulsearch.io. And there are so many different aspects to it, all the different events going on, and all the amazing practitioners, all the amazing people, and all the different types of community. And one of the communities is Global Peace Tribe. And so we're going to meet a few amazing presenters, and actually more than presenters, healers, musical artists that are a big part of SoulSearch. And that's what we're going to be doing all weekend long, tonight, tomorrow night, and Sunday morning. So with that, do you want to introduce tonight's presenters and friends?
Sure. I'm really excited, because really, with SoulSearch, we are here to bring out into the world all of the amazing practitioners, healers, musicians, teachers, guides out into the world more fully, and, bring out everything they're doing and creating individually and together. And, what I love about our group here with Peter Sterling, Deva Vidya, and Mark Simzak is that they're incredible healers, each of them in their own right, incredible practitioners, creators, innovators, and also co-collaborators and co-creators. And all, they're all based in Sedona and actually working together in many different ways, which we'll delve into and explore and talk about. So it's just super fun for me to see all of this. And I'll start with introducing Deva Vidya, who's a very close friend of mine, and she is a shamanic priestess, multidimensional healer, light language activator, and oracle of the mystic Jaguar. She offers deep, profound healing, transformational, and empowerment modalities that assist the seeker to illuminate the shadow, heal old wounds, and reclaim the powerful vessel of life that they are. And Deva leads incredible shamanic journeys on land and around Sedona. And she's an incredible practitioner and priestess. And I've also had the pleasure of working with her and doing ceremony with her throughout Sedona. And it's just been such a gift and an honor and a privilege to do that. And thanks, Deva, for joining us. Excited to be connecting with you more here and chatting about what you do in all of the ways. And then, of course, we have Peter Sterling with us tonight, and he's also a great friend, and he is a world-renowned harpist who has composed 16 albums of instrumental new age music, with many going to #1 on the radio charts around the world. Most recently, he won the Hollywood Music and Media Award for New Age Album of the Year in 2021. And his current single and music video, The Long Cold Winter, is a tribute to the brave people of Ukraine and has been winning awards around the world in international festivals. Peter lives in Sedona, and he also leads sacred journeys into the backcountry mystical power spots. He's also a visual artist, with his work being in 2 prestigious galleries in Sedona. He does this incredible crystal art channeled by the angels, and Peter's also a very powerful healer, doing work with the Merkaba and channeling from the angelic realms and bringing healing and light and sound healing. And so he's incredible. Thanks, Peter, for joining us. So excited to have you here as well. And then, of course, we have with us Mark Zimzak, who is also a great friend, and he is the founder of the Sedona Quantum Consciousness Center. And this is an incredible transformative technology center where they have a really wide range of technologies for transformation and for consciousness raising, everything from the biocharger, the biowell, med bed, and he'll talk about more of that. And he also is an engineer and has a master's in applied breathing science. So he also runs and holds courses on what he calls Breathe Ease and the science and practice of breathing. And he also holds group prayer and prayer circles. And, is just very focused and active in the Sedona community, holding lots of events at his center, including weekly Frequency Friday biocharger sessions, with which Deva and Peter have both participated in and done sound healing with the biocharger, which he'll tell us a little bit more about while everyone comes and meditates together. So this is just a really amazing, diverse community, all with their own healing modalities and practices. But then what a beautiful example of coming together and working together and bringing out that light and transformation to everyone.
Beautiful, beautiful. So as we look at all of our guests, and I want to acknowledge that Omashar is with us. And of course, Trish is with us. And all of you, I see so many of our regular familiar friends, and that's really, really beautiful. Also, a big part of our team, Debbie Johnston, is with us. I'm putting her on camera for a minute too. So welcome, everybody. And wondering if, Peter, you'd be willing to start us off with a little bit of music.
I certainly would. I would love to. Thank you. Just a little touch to open.
Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Isn't it cool? My lights here.
Oh, wow, look at that. That is cool. It is cool. So while we have you on, and I'll bring on my partner Trish here for a minute too. Trish, what happens for you when you listen to harp? It's funny because I made the angelic comment, and then he's playing the harp. So there's something going on here.
Well, I don't resonate with the angels and the harp sound. That doesn't. Thing. But I love the resonance of the harp, that it's set in such a specific, like the math between each string and each note. Do you know what I mean by that? Like so wonderful because I think it hits every part of the brain. It's a very sensational musical instrument.
Mm-hmm.
The nervous system.
Nice. I like that.
How about
So,
you?
Yeah, it is rather, as you were saying, it is very mathematical. It's just a very simple scale. It's just one string after the other all the way up. So it's actually quite simple to play. But as I'm playing it, this is like a grid work. And I'm just seeing patterns within these vertical lines. So I'm just connecting points and in different ways. And I love your interpretation.
Beautiful. I'm bringing Tanjila back up. And Tanjila, tell us a little bit more about some of the communities involved. And while she's doing that, a question to all of our other friends from SoulSearch. The first question of the day for everybody is, what does community mean to you? And how does SoulSearch fit into your vision for community? So giving you like a little heads up that Peter, Mark, Deva, I'm going to be asking each of you to respond to that question. So we can get a chance to get to know all of you a little bit more. But how about for you, Tanjila? What does community mean to you? And tell us a little bit about what you've created with the SoulSearch community.
Well, for me, community is an opportunity to create connection, to build friendship, to build relationship, to build collaborations, and to really begin co-creating together, what we would like the world to be and what we envision the world to be. And us being able to come together as a community brings us this energy and power where we're able to exponentially amplify our visions and desires for what the new earth looks like, what the rainbow people look like, what we can get really, really bogged down in what is happening around us in the 3D. And it's not to say that we should ignore that. We should, of course, be aware of what is happening. But I think then coming together in power with vision of the world that we would like to create, and coming together with that, it starts bringing forth a new energy and a new power and space for new ideas to develop, solutions to unfold, and for new ways of being to arise. And so for me, community is just really being able to bring together all of these incredible change makers, healers, musicians, artists, creators, and really coming together so that together we can bring forth this new world, this new earth, this new paradigm together. And I think, we have just incredible people around the world. And for me, creating this online global community allows us to connect wherever we may be, and also to bring out like the gifts in everyone else that may not have as easy access. Like living in Sedona, it's incredible. You can go to a ceremony every week. You can go, visit the Sedona Quantum Consciousness Center and meditate with the biocharger, or see Peter Sterling live and just be blown away by his angelic music, or go on a shamanic journey with Deva. But like for most people, they don't have that opportunity on it. Even they may not even know where to begin to find that opportunity. And so what I'm really looking to create with SoulSearch is that entry point in for anyone, whatever that may be, whether that's an online experience with Peter's music, or attending a retreat in Sedona with Mark or Deva, or whatever it might be, or making just some personal connections online and then getting a healing session with a practitioner and delving further. There's so many ways. The journey is endless and the journey is unlimited, but communities together provides those openings for everyone.
Beautiful. I really do feel like SoulSearch is the next step for the Global Peace Tribe. And that's why I'm so excited about this collaboration, because The Global Peace Tribe was a total evolution that was born out of the pandemic. For people who don't know, way back in March of 2020, there was going to be a live fundraising event that I was putting together with Deborah Giusti. And COVID happened and pandemic happened, and all of a sudden we had to stay home. And so we decided to do an online version of that morphed into Saturday Night Live. Meanwhile, Trish, very shortly after that, had a big event where a close friend of hers had a very hard thing happen. And we realized, oh my God, this is really causing a lot of difficulty for people to be trapped indoors. And so Trish started the Self-Love Show. Trish and I started doing a show called Straight Talk. I started doing the Sacred Sunday Show. And we all thought this would last for just a few months to get us through the pandemic. But here we are. I mean, I've got COVID. The pandemic, we think it's over and then it's back. And we think it's over and then it's back. But the beautiful thing came out of it was the Global Peace Tribe. And of course, now we do the Awakening World, which kind of bundles a lot of these things together. But the next step is, okay, it's great to come to Scott or Trish's shows on the weekends or on special events, but how do we stay in contact with each other on a regular basis? And that's what I'm so excited about with SoulSearch, taking that next step. And if you join, for example, I've gone to the SoulSearch community page. And this is just like a starting point, but you'll notice like when you come in, it's like simple things, how to reach. And then every day, Tanjila or somebody asks a question. And the first question, what do you want to get from this new community? And I see she's already got 43 comments. And then there's things like events. There's Peter Sterling. And so you can find out about events where, some of these are online, some of these are in person, and the questions continue. And if you take a look at all these different aspects, there's events, there's specialties, there's groups, and the groups range: Psychic and Healing, New Living Expo, Making Contact with ETs, Global Peace Tribe, yay. So there's so much to explore. So make sure you go to soulsearch.io this weekend, maybe while you're listening to music or after the show or even during the show, to discover what's going on here. So thank you, Tanjila.
Thank you.
And as you're going to meet her amazing people, you're going to see how wonderful they are. Deva, I'm going to bring you on with us, and would love to ask you that question. What does community mean to you? And why have you decided to go all in with SoulSearch? And how is SoulSearch meeting your need for a community?
Okay. Well, first I'll just say Tanjila did a brilliant job of describing community. So here's to you, Tanjila. Community has always meant so much to me all my life. And, when I lived in Manhattan, I was seeking community. I tried to create community. And then when I was in Pennsylvania, I tried to create community. And I heard something once say that a brick doesn't want to be a brick. It wants to be part of a house. And that is very much what like a community is for me. Is like, it's beautiful for us to have self-love and to be able to be on our own and be self-reliant, but we are hardwired to be in community, to be with people. And, it is our innate nature to be in tribe and to each have a role in tribe and each to create this safe container for all of us to be in. And, that's why a lot of us have issues in our root chakra, because the root chakra is all about that primal need of tribe. And when we were in tribe, we relied on the safe container of that. If we didn't have tribe, we were in danger of the elements or in danger of wild animals or other tribes or a phantom, I can never say that word, and things like this. And so we all needed each other to have this safe container. And in our culture, in our modern culture, it has become so disconnected, and it's very hard for us to connect with one another and to stay in a container, because there's like so many, especially now after COVID and all these things that have happened during 2020 that would create even more dissension and more separation. And, you know, so more than ever, it is so important for us to come into this time of really connecting at a heart level and at a soul level. And you know, when I first came to Sedona, that was my mission. Spirit told me that I had to create this Sunday community gathering for New Earth, raising New Earth. And that's how I know everybody in Sedona, because I would have like 40 people, 40 strangers in my living room coming every Sunday. And we would have potluck together, and we'd create beautiful prayers and song and sound and calling in the energy of New Earth and those light codes and anchoring them into Sedona. And so it's been such a really an important aspect that I have deeply, in my deep part of my being, been called to seek and create. And so Soul Search for me is, you know, is a way for us not only to create within our geographical location, but also throughout the world, to be able to connect with people on the other side of the world, in Asia and in Europe and in Australia, everywhere, so that we can become one community and really begin to unite our hearts together and our minds together to begin to bring forth this collective consciousness of, sorry, the messages on the screen are distracting me. You know, this collective consciousness of really creating what we want to see for this new paradigm, because we have a choice. What are we going to create? You know, and now that we can come together, we can really come together, and all of us can create this new vision of what we want to see. And many of us have different ideas, but maybe hearing, you know, somebody's idea here inspires another person to have a different thought about what they thought about how they wanted to see the earth, or how they wanted to see, you know, this paradigm shift. And so we can all influence each other and give each other provoking thoughts to come into this new experience. And so Soul Search is a really amazing place for that, I think, because now we actually have this opportunity to connect with each other, and also to create these online events that we can offer everyone. Perhaps like Tanjila was saying, and I think you were saying also, is that, you know, during these times, there are still people that are either in lockdown or have a lot of fear about going out into public. And so it is really great for this opportunity for everyone to be able to experience what we have to offer as practitioners.
Beautiful. Well, now I know why she is such an important partner for you, Tanjila.
Yeah.
I mean, really, she's very eloquent and very heartfelt, you know, and, you know, Deva, I'm picturing you as this big heart with legs as I speak.
That's my goal. That's my goal. You know,
Well, that's the image that came to mind.
Tanjila said to me the other day that we're only here for love. And I was like, absolutely. That, and I'm just going to use that as my mantra. We're only here for love. And every time I'm experiencing or thinking or acting in an incoherent or incongruent way, I just keep coming back to that. I'm only here for love. So, yeah.
Beautiful.
And I have created many, many beautiful community gatherings and beautiful ceremonies. So I deeply love Tanjila and the work that we get to do together.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm putting the spotlight on Mark. And of course, Mark, same question that we've been tackling. What does community mean to you, and how does Soul Search fit into that?
Okay, thank you for offering that. And I'm thrilled that we're talking about community, because that's what SQC, it turns out, is about. SQC, but being Sedona Quantum Consciousness. I saw in the chats that someone, if it was George, does a couple biocharger sessions a week. And then Jeffrey just chatted that he does Lynn McTaggart's. And we combine all this. We're about amplifying energy, vibration, and intentions through collective prayer. We know that that is the new healing modality, right? This quantum field that is difficult to explain, but one can truly experience. And when we do it together and in community, whether it be, and sometimes it's by having these group events that we do, bringing people into this Tesla coil machine that's putting out pulse magnetics. And so we're getting the healing vibrations of the equipment while in community, while being there in a prayerful way, creating intentions. And so it's a wonderful way to bring people in to build community at the center. And we also, I'm talking about, with regard to our center, how we create different kinds of community, because some people are more interested in becoming sovereign individuals, getting out of the system, this fictitious system that we're in, and become an American national. So we'll do, and that creates community too. So community is different for many people. Those of us that are looking for the ascension path, this tribe here in particular, it's great to have technologies that can both assist with that ascension process. And Renee Raw is in the audience here, and we'll talk about the med bed a little bit later, which helps to unfold this ascension process along with bringing people in together. And the beauty of a community is that it doesn't have to be necessarily at a center. My parents have extended family, 10, 12 people, and we extend it on the website. We talk about universal prayer. We can be together in consciousness at a certain hour of the day. And it is still community. It is still being together. Being together on the show here is community, right? We feel a presence, and it may even hit the neurotransmitter oxytocin, right? Some of these hormones that are important to us for our own health, having this community. The ascension process, while much of it is, in prayer, in meditation, where we are alone or in our own space, but it can still be done also at the same time in a collective group. And so it's just can be fun and joyful. And you'll see that part of that process, that we look at community as part of this process of growing, ascending, maturing into our highest self, and using technologies and other people for this process. So that's kind of, and I didn't necessarily know when I opened the center what was going to unfold. It just happened. And the beauty, I just thrilled to be in Sedona with the likes of, Tanjila, Deva, Peter. We bring in these every Friday. We have something Tanjila referenced, Frequency Friday, where we bring in musicians and we run the equipment in conjunction with some of the music, the beautiful voices of different artists. And it's just a wonderful place to spend an evening for an hour and a half or so as we develop ourselves and spend time together. So thank you for that, giving me the chair for a minute, the talking stick.
Oh, well, we want to have you a lot more, all three of you a lot more. We've still got about another hour. So really looking forward to getting to know all of you much more. Peter Sterling. Well, before I go to Peter, Tanjila, anything you want to add to what Marcus just said?
I mean, I think, it's wonderful what Mark is doing because, he's bringing in a different aspect of ascension and consciousness raising. And it's with technology, and it's with these transformative technologies that are available at his center. And again, for everyone, this path is different. And for everyone, there's so many different ways to experience this consciousness shift. And what Mark is doing with these different technologies that he has available there is making, is allowing people new and different ways to come in and have those experiences. And then also co-creating with, the traditional practitioners and the sound healers and the musicians. And so it is, beautiful example of community. And I'm just really excited that, we're working with Mark, and I'm planning for us to actually be starting to bring out like the events and the sessions that he is doing at the Sedona Quantum Consciousness Center virtually out through SoulSearch to an even wider audience. So even if they're not able to come and participate in person, that they can be experience the transformative energies of these technologies and all the people there. And I think, you know, we have so many people in the community already that have reached out to me and they're like, you guys have so many amazing events in Sedona, but I am, you know, I'm in a different location. I can't attend. And so, you know, really, you know, we're also now making a big effort to, you know, work together to bring our events that we are hosting online whenever possible, so that wherever people are, they can be having that experience. And hopefully it, you know, it has a resonance with them and has, you know, maybe they'll come visit, or maybe they'll reach out and do some more personal work with different practitioners. But whatever the result is, you know, I'm super excited to be working with Mark and bringing in this technology, you know, in from, you know, from all of these other realms as we bring out this work together.
It's an amazing time to be alive. And you know, as I'm hearing you and Mark and Deva, and in a moment we'll come back to Peter, these are tough times. You know, these are challenging times for a lot of people. And I'm really appreciating the inspiration and connection that each of you are providing. And I guess that's kind of a lead in as I go to Peter and put the spotlight on you, Peter. In terms of community, you've been traveling around, I assume, around the world. I mean, it seems like, you know, you have been in this world for a long time, playing music and reaching audiences and inspiring people. So kind of given that broad view, what is your current perspective about where we stand in terms of creating community? And again, how does SoulSearch fit into that for you?
Well, I first wanted to say I love the trailer at the beginning for the Awakening World. I thought it really has a great spirit, a great vibe, and I love to be a part of that here now. Nice work there, Scott.
Thank you.
And I'm just getting involved with SoulSearch. I wanted to commend Tanjila for her great work to put it together. I'm just kind of seeing it for the first time in the last 24, 48 hours. And it's really awesome. When I look at it, I go, wow, this is kind of like an awesome new platform for our global light community to connect. And it started here in Sedona. And at first I thought it was just going to kind of be a Sedona thing for us here. But then maybe it started that way, but now it's grown to this global thing where people can come together and share their gifts. So I think it's really awesome. It's got a great look and feel. So nice work there. And Scott, to your question.
Tanjila, I didn't realize that Peter is a SoulSearch virgin. He's a virgin. So.
Yes, he's a newbie, but he's jumping right in.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, and what a beautiful thing, because Peter, I can just say you are beloved. You're one of those people that you've been in our community a long time, the Global Peace Tribe, or whatever you want to call it. It's had many names. You're just beloved. Like so many people said, Peter's going to be on the show. I got that reaction from several people this week. Yeah.
I know. So, I'm grateful. I've been doing my music now for 30 years. And I've been thinking about this, you know, I've just been really steadfast and focused on this mission I was given when I came here, you know, those years ago. So my community has grown and now it just seems to be even expanding more and more for me recently. So I'm real grateful for the recognition I'm getting now. And the music has a life of its own. And so, of course, I've been building community myself with my fan base, you know, as I've traveled around and played my concerts, given my workshops and lectures and collected email addresses and, you know, built my brand. And I consider it as a ministry of music. And so, you know, the music, my music has never been about me so much personally. It came from a higher vision. And the vision was given to me by, you know, the masters the angels, that this was my mission, was to play this most sacred instrument in order to create community and to unify people of the world through the power of music, sound, and vibration. And the most, beautiful sound, the most beautiful harmonic tone of any instrument is the harp, and it's found all over the world in cultures all over the world. So it has a special presence and it touches people in a certain way that's very healing and can really touch the heart, like the harp strings and the heartstrings. They're very much resonate together. So, and another thing about community here, living in Sedona now, I've lived here on and off for 30 years. And, we all get drawn here by the beauty of the red rocks behind me. This is one of my photographs and art pieces, actually, as my virtual backdrop here. Oh. But many of us have been drawn by the beauty and the power and the majesty of the land, of the red rocks. But what happens, I think, for people like myself and Tanjila and Deva, who, when we come here and we connect into the community here, we meet people here who we were destined to meet. And it's a community of light and love. And there's just this wonderful, supportive community environment where we're all awakening together, healing together, celebrating together, and communing together in this new energy that's coming from, and it's coming from, the higher dimensions. It's coming from the sun. We're being bathed in a new light, and new frequencies of light are coming in. And where it's like I see it, and it's been shown to me like a new Renaissance time. New things are coming, new technologies, new healing technologies, new possibilities, new energy systems as we create the future that we dream of. Even there's so much polarity and seeing so much of the opposite happening even, but always keeping our eyes on the prize and keeping our eyes on that sunrise on the horizon of the new day, And even it's always darkest before the dawn, So, and being in this community here for, this long, and being a sacred place, a power spot on the planet, that when we do our ceremonies here, I just want everybody to know, when we do our work here, it's like, and we bring in the new energy here and do our healing here, we really feel like, because Sedona is on this kind of nodal point on the planetary grid, that what we do here actually affects the whole planet. I know that happens for all of us, but here it does seem to be magnified just because we're living in a crystal city. There's so many crystals here all over this place and all over the land here, and embedded into the rocks. And even, it's very interesting, in the actual geology of Sedona, you can see on the United States Geological Survey website, .org or .gov, that underneath Sedona, the geological layers, there's large layers of quartz underneath Sedona. So it really is a crystal city, and the vibe is amplified here and affects the whole world, I believe. So, and that's been another unifying kind of idea that's brought our community, knowing that what we're doing here is being radiated out. When we go out we have these wonderful community events here all the time. We have these ecstatic dance on the rocks every week at sunset, and we have the full moon gatherings out on the rocks, and we have our flamenco music 3 nights a week down in the Arts Center of Tlaquepaque, where the community comes out and we dance and we celebrate music together, and it's very special. So I'm grateful that I'm in this community here, and now I'm in this new community here with the Awakening World and SoulSearch, and I just feel very positive about the future. So
beautiful. Well, you've done a wonderful job of selling Sedona right now. Not that it needs much more sales, but you did a great job with that, Peter.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring.
It's a powerful place, Scott. And so
totally, it is.
wanted to thank Peter for painting that picture for everyone, because I think Dave, Mark, Peter, all of us can agree, like the energy and the power of Sedona and the vortex that it is really does, one, attract all of us doing this work, and then allows us to really come together and co-create in really magnificent ways. All of us have worked together and done ceremony and events together, and have attended one another's events. So, we're all very supportive of one another's work, and we're always looking for ways to come together. And then, the energy of Sedona really grounds us and gives us that power to then bring what we're doing out into the world. And, with Soul Search, Spirit was very clear to me. Spirit told me, Spirit said, you have to launch Soul Search from Sedona, because you are launching a global online spiritual community, and you want to do it with the energy and the power of a real life, physical, spiritual community. And so that's what I did. And it's with the beautiful energy from Sedona and of Sedona and of all the people and power of Sedona. And of course, Gaia, Mama Sedona, and the Red Rocks, all of this power coming together, really, helping them to really bring this vision and this co-creation that we're all bringing together out into the world more fully. So
I'd love to add to that, Tanjila, because it's actually prophesized that New Earth will begin in Sedona. That's an ancient prophecy, that's where New Earth starts. And then New Earth, from this, when we create that New Earth, it starts to go out into the grid, like what Peter was saying, into the grid and traveling all over the globe. So it's very appropriate. It's perfect that Soul Search was birthed in Sedona. And thank you for listening to Spirit and hearing that call. It's pretty cool.
All right, well, I'm going to jump on the Sedona bandwagon for a minute, even though I'm
Me
not
too.
living there. And I'll bring Mark on, and then I want to read some comments from some of our people. I've produced several television segments, nationally broadcast in Sedona, and yeah, without a doubt, I believe it's a multidimensional portal, and obviously there's a tremendous amount of phenomena that takes place there, and I believe that the first significant UFO contact between people, where it's videotaped and filmed, and I really believe that's going to take place in Sedona. And I've had that vision for a very long time, and I've met other people that have had a similar vision. So you heard it today on The Awakening World, my prediction, and that would be the start of the new world, right? Once we have embraced our galactic family, and they've embraced us, that is going to be the start of the new earth in many ways. All right, I want to read some comments, and then I've got another question for all of you. But we really appreciate that we've got a great audience. Debbie Johnston, who we can't get out of the Sedona thing. Debbie's very excited. She's going to Sedona in a week. And Debbie, of course, is my co-producer who makes all things happen. So I don't know where she is. I was going to put this. There she is. So Debbie is coming to Sedona. She's muted, but the muted Debbie is no doubt happy about that.
I'm so happy. I'm even more excited after this call. So hopefully I'll get to meet some of you and take advantage of these amazing events happening. Sounds fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Debbie. Mark Janisovsky is one of our regulars, and he writes that he's encouraging regional centers such as Vision in San Diego to build upon what we're doing here. And so thank you, Mark. And for Peter, I'm going to put the spotlight on Mark for a moment. Mark played accordion on one of your albums.
He certainly did. Yeah. On a couple of songs he's played, but recently my latest single that I just released called The Long Cold Winter.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I play the accordion, and if you've probably all seen the Gary Larson comic where he says, "Welcome to heaven, here's your harp. Welcome to hell, here's your accordion." But you know, all things in heaven and hell united together musically. You know, so I had to sell that to Peter a little bit too, but it works beautifully. So.
Oh. Well, it's great to have, you know, both of you, because Mark is a regular. We love Mark, and Mark always brings so much love and positive energy to the Awakening World shows. So it's cool that you guys have that connection. I really like that.
Can I tell you about the song, or do you want us to go ahead, Mark?
I also want to understand what Tanjila has done, and also Scott. You know, Scott has done a Herculean effort for the last couple of years to make this all happen for us. And it's a virtual world, and Tanjila has created something that can turn this virtual world that he's created in this virtual community into something personal. And so when I first saw that, I thought, you know, I've been jumping on this, right? Because people get enthused, and we have a lot of inertia in our lives, especially in beautiful places like San Diego. And it's tough to get up and say, let's go and do things together. But I think as much as we can tangibly feel the resonance online, once we get together, this group that has been brought together by Scott, I think it might be amazing. And it's certainly worth trying, because we have to try everything to make the world a better place. So that's how I feel about it. So thank you, Tanjila.
And Mark,
go ahead.
Thanks, Mark. And Mark, Deva and I are actually going to be flying to San Diego tomorrow. So we will both be, SoulSearch will be at the Psychic and Healing Fair in San Diego on Sunday. And, you know, we hope to meet you there. Hopefully you can stop by, and we'd love to chat with you about maybe even doing an event while we're in San Diego and having an event together for the community. Deva and I do a lot of events for the community in Sedona. And,
we would love that. Absolutely.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
So that could be fun.
Great. Thank you.
Well, see, that's the power of the Global Peace Tribe all coming together. And that's it. You know, we all need to co-create together. Mary Noonan is asking, does anyone in Sedona know Zach Rader? Zach Rader, awesome breathwork master. Tanjila would love to have you meet Zach. So I'm not sure if that's somebody new for you.
No, I don't know him. I'm not sure if any of you guys know Zach, but I'd love to meet him and love to connect for sure. So Mary, please feel free to introduce us. We're always happy to grow our circle, you know, wider and wider and wider.
Great. All right. Here's another question. Let me bring Peter back on too. So for those of you that are in Sedona, that know your Dharma, it's a blessing. But I also want to acknowledge that for a lot of people right now, their lives are in a big change. You know, I think each and every one that's on camera right now is somebody who is blessed to know what the Dharma is and to be doing it. And that is a real blessing. That's grace. It really is. I want to ask you if any of you have any advice for those people who are watching, who are in between what they've been doing and recognizing that's no longer their Dharma. They're looking for their Dharma, or they're looking for their next home, or they're looking for their next whatever it might be. Do any of you have any practices or tips for how to make it okay during that transition time, and how to best tap in and tune in? And any of you can answer.
Okay, I'll answer then, because I just went through a huge transformation. Can you hear me?
Yes, you sound great.
Wasn't sure if I was on mute or still. And so I can talk very specifically to that. We are all going through a major shift right now, and we're being asked to release our old ways of being and come and to listen very carefully and come into our new way of our true nature, to hear our deep inner voice and to come into our true innate wisdom and our innate gifts that have been laying dormant, maybe for many lifetimes. And they finally now are calling to come online. And this is what some of the work that I actually do with people when I do one-on-one sessions and I do my shamanic journeys, is that I help people to go deep within. And I really feel like going into the heart, like we were talking about before, is the heart center is the true mind. We have like those three brains, right? We have this brain, we have the gut, and we have the heart. But the heart is really the one that connects us to our true nature. And when we go into the heart, we can listen to that, and we can just breathe into the heart and ask the heart, what is it that we are meant to be doing today? What is it that makes my heart sing? And I always find that it's really what you do, and you lose time. You forget about anything else in the world. You forget that there's anything outside of that present moment. It brings you completely into the present moment. And you have so much bliss in doing that. And you feel so centered, and you feel so like you're really being in your true nature, in your true self at that moment. Somebody asked me once what I thought the definition of love was. And I said, it's the energy. Well, at first I tapped into my higher self, and I tapped into my heart. And this is what came forward. It is the energy that brings you into the present moment. And that is whatever it is that brings you truly into the present moment, and that connects with your heart center and gives you that sense of peace and that sense of being centered, and you lose all time. That's what you're meant to be doing. And it might not look like it can bring you money. It might not look like it can support you, but if that's what brings your heart, makes your heart sing and brings you to that place, then that is what it is. And trust me, believe me, I never thought that I would ever be doing what I'm doing today. And I never thought that I could make any money doing it either. When I was living on the East Coast, it was a real struggle for me. And I was led here to Sedona. I never thought I'd live in the desert in a million years. I'm an ocean girl. I was born on the ocean, and I love the ocean. And I never thought that I'd be living in the desert, although this was an ocean at one time. So that suits my soul. But, and becoming here and really listening to spirit and going against what my ego and my thinking mind wanted me to do. My ego and my thinking mind wanted me to go to California and live on the coast there. And, and I was brought here. And this is where I found my community that I have been searching for all my life. And this is where I've been completely supported in my work, that I never thought I would ever find prosperity or abundance in. And I am continually given opportunities to have new encounters with people and to receive financial abundance from that. So I really, really encourage everyone to meditate on their heart center, to breathe into their heart, to call upon their higher self and ask that higher self to anchor itself into the heart, and then listen. What is it that makes your heart sing? And find that and follow it.
Deva, what a beautiful response. I did not prep people with that question, and I actually get the inspiration to ask it. And Deva, you could not have answered it more beautifully. Karen Eisenberg in our chat box just wrote, "Thank you, Deva. Truly resonate with all that you shared."
Mm.
And, we might as well take a moment that if you are finding yourself inspired by Deva, I certainly was. Of course, all of these people you can find on SoulSearch. This is her SoulSearch page. And Deva, you clearly provide a lot of different services for people. And does that include counseling over Zoom?
Yes, I do. I like to call it, I don't want to call it counseling, right? Because I'm not a therapist, but I do spiritual guidance. And yes, absolutely. That's one of the things I do. I really tap into my higher self and my client's higher self, connecting to the source and all of their guides, and really bringing forth an intuitive guidance for them. And it's very powerful. It really helped a lot of people.
Beautiful. And she's a multidimensional healer, a light language activator, and an oracle of the mystic Jaguar. So I got to ask about that. And then I want to go to Mark because we haven't heard from Mark for a little bit. But what is the oracle of the mystic Jaguar? That sounds very exotic.
Well, thank you for asking about that. And I'm still being revealed, and that's why I haven't launched it yet on my new YouTube channel, because I have a YouTube channel right now called Way of the Sacred, but I'm going to be launching a new one called Oracle of the Mystic Jaguar, where I'm going to be doing channeling from Jaguar spirit. So Jaguar sits in the West on the medicine wheel in the Incan tradition. And it's been very interesting. I just, somebody pointed out to me yesterday how the medicine wheel has really been leading my life, because many years ago, I was really connected to hawk and an eagle and condor. And I was doing a lot of the medicine with them, which sits in the East. And then I was very connected to serpent, or that sits in the South. And now Jaguar, which sits in the West, is calling me to do the work with her so that I may be her channel. And she is the dark mother of the underworld in the shamanic realms that brings people to face their shadow so that they can transmute their shadow, they can heal that energy, those deep wounds from the past, so that they can come into their true nature.
Beautiful. Wow. Tanjila, you know how to pick them.
Yeah, I want to just say that Diva is an incredible shamanic priestess and healer, and I've had the honor to do ceremony and journey with her, and she's helped me to reconnect and remember, my Lemurian, some of my Lemurian past, some of my Atlantean times, my times in Hawaii as a Hawaiian healer and priestess, and really like at one with the earth and all of the elements. And so she's helped me to powerfully remember who I am in so many dimensions. So really want to thank and recognize Deva for the work that she does, and also all the work she does in the community, bringing us all to remember who we are as one and bring our soul tribe together. So thank you, Deva.
Thank you, love.
Mark, I'm bringing you on because we haven't heard from you for a little while. I always like to balance it all out. What would you like to share about either the question I asked or about the work you do?
Well, I'd love to answer the question that you asked about, what we can do to help find that next chapter, what others can do that maybe are searching for that next chapter. First, I want to honor Deva, because for those that doubt this capacity, Deva and I did some axial training, and she was the only one in the group of us that did it that was able, it was like clairvoyance training, and she was able to, through telepathy, essentially picture exactly what our trainer had in his mind, which was a camera, something in the room. And so she does have this this capacity to look deeper, higher at one's other capacities. So yeah, true gifts that, and those are some of the things that we do at our center, is bring in these clairvoyants. I don't have these kind of gifts. It's wonderful to be in this land of 3 Sigma, 4 Sigma, of people with these astronomical gifts. I grew up kind of left brain, and it's just a joy to be around so many people that have this artists, right? Peters. Every time I have someone come into the center, I go, oh, wow, this is truly beautiful and miraculous. All these people, including Tanjila. So back to what one can do. I've had a spiritual practice for probably the better part of 15 years, fairly deep. And up on my website is something about collective prayer, but it's really about purifying yourself. One of the things that you can do before you may even before, probably an important thing to do as you look at next chapters, is to really clean up your act and get deep with oneself. And there are certain times to be doing this meditation and prayer, surrendering at night through prayer, lowering yourself to a beggar, like before the Lord or before Source, really feeling that humility and humbleness. And asking, for assistance so that we're not driving the ship. Ask for some assistance driving this ship coming up. So setting that intention the night before, and doing this regularly, not just once expecting, the next morning you're going to have your new passion about you. And then the morning meditations, doing that at the right hour. It's one thing, yes, to go to the creek or somewhere special during the day, but there's also something extremely subtle, sublime about doing the meditation for, if you're newbie at it, make it 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or if you're new, come and we can help. If you really got monkey mind going on, this is part of what we offer is neurofeedback, biofeedback to help bring down that chatter so that one is not disenfranchised by meditation itself, but to do it at the quiet hours of the morning, at dawn or before. 4 a.m. is a wonderful, if you can stomach getting up that early, or 5 a.m. even these days with it, so getting light so early to get quiet oneself. And there are, different types of meditation, but this quietness, the quiescent breath where you just go in deep into that deep state will start turning your world around, right? It will start unfolding a new world before you that will be profound over time. And to accelerate that, and I'm kind of then moving to some of the other questions, well, what can we at the center do, and what can Sedona do for that matter? A lot of people come here for retreats for just that type of thing, because they can get away from their daily habits and their daily thought process and mental activity to step into something that is quite surreal. And, at the center, we don't just do it with the technologies. We are human technologies, hence the prayer and intention, but we also get people out on the land. With my background being in breathing sciences, I know how to develop the breath so that we're breathing better 24/7. It's not just about breath work, it's about 24/7 better breathing. And so getting people on the land, helping to develop respiratory fitness and what that means, how to do it, because it's not one-stop shopping. Oh, breathe this way or that way. It's a skill set one has to learn, because breathing is a habit that often gets awry over time. So the land offers beautiful opportunities for that kind of stress, which is a healthy stress. We call it hormetic stress. It's also a beautiful place for the hormetic stress of cold plunges. We have beautiful stream, creeks that allow for, and this is a stress which is temporary, which is huge for helping one to grow and to dial down anxieties and other stresses. So cold is a huge factor. Then there's the technology so that we offer to help with this ascension process. And that should be, coming back to it, kind of the main goal. That if you've got some work going on, great, you can work on the ascension process where you are, coming in for a kickstart, a boost, or some accelerated training to help get you moving in that dimension a little faster, or maybe open up these new possibilities, is where Sedona is just fantastic. But it's not the only place, right? It can be done in San Diego, some of these other places, just out on the water, on land. But sometimes retreat are beautiful places to meet new people, to get inspired, and to be with practitioners that have these special gifts.
Beautiful. Well, I'm going to go to your website for a minute. Of course, you can find him on SoulSearch, but his organization, Sedona Quantum Consciousness. And you can get a wonderful taste. You'll find it at SedonaQC.org. SedonaQC.org. And I love that. I mean, what a beautiful combination of empowerment, transformative technology, and joy. We all need more joy in our life, that's for sure. And look at all the activities. Look at all that is going on there. So definitely, it's a wonderful organization you've created. And just as you were going through all these wonderful thoughts, and clearly you've got a lot of wisdom and a lot of joy that you clearly bring to your work, Mark. It's very apparent.
Scott, could I take it? When might be an appropriate minute? I want to bring in Ra or Tanjila. If it's not now, just keep it in mind another time.
No,
Bring in Ra.
Ra is one of our, he's also a member of SoulSearch and one of our great friends and practitioners based in Sedona, Arcturus Ra. He's an incredible Arcturian commander. And, he brings in all of these incredible galactic technologies and builds amazing transformative tools himself, including the MedBed, which is now in the Sedona Quantum Consciousness Center. I had the pleasure of, checking out the MedBed and experiencing it myself before leaving Sedona a few weeks ago, and it was profound. So, Ra, if you're on, let's come on board and show us the center, show us the MedBed if you're there.
I'm looking for a Ra to bring on camera.
Renee.
Yeah, it's
Oh, okay. Let me. Okay, so hold on. I did see Renee a moment ago. So hang on a moment. There he is. Okay, here he is.
Hey, Ra.
Hey. So I don't have the MedBed here because the office was busy with another event. But I can explain what it does. What you see back there blinking is like a sound system that responds. It's kind of like a Merkaba in lights with nanotech that I'm experimenting with. So let me break down the MedBed situation. The MedBed is basically, I looked at holy places, and I'll make this as short as I can. What do all of the holy places have in common? What are the energies pertaining to that? Pyramid Chamber, Niagara Falls, Canyons of Sedona, Hawaii, the Temple of Sophia, many other holy places, the Holy Well of Lourdes in France. What do they all have in common? So I looked at also scrying, basically scrying into the past with psychics and myself, downloading and streaming what did the pyramids look like 50,000 years ago. So what I got was, with my downloads and my contacts as an experiencer, is photons, negative ions, highly magnetic areas. Like Earth's magnetic field was super, super strong. It would basically erase credit cards on a regular. So I was like, how can I make this energy field of like super nature, life affirming, life accumulating energy, bring that back? Same as the Bosnian pyramids in with Dr. Osmarganic. Also photons, negative ions, longitudinal wave, standing, scalar wave, tachyon, orgone energy, all of this, Reich, everything in one. So I built a compact system as if Reich, Einstein, Tesla, Kozyrev, all of those scientists said, let's put all our inventions together, which is what I did. So I created a MedBed that runs on a zero field. It actually repurposes the earthly energy. It has basically orgone plates in it. It's a 9-dimensional system. It has photons, as in nanoparticles that are charged with a 23rd dimensional light fusion reactor, where I have the means to capture photons from the vacuum. And it brings it into a storage medium. That storage medium then shoots it through the plates. The top plate is a galvanic plate. This is a shooting system, and at the base of it, I have magnets. So I have black Farad magnets, photonic energy, organic energy. End result is you have tachyon energy accumulating, you have scalar waves being produced, and you have high dimensional light going through the body. So basically, the zero field captures the body, kind of Xeroxes a proxy copy of that body back to the oversoul and back, resulting into healing. So the first experiment that I've witnessed with a bed that had 10% of its power, when I was introduced to photons and how photons travels, healed a tumor in 6 weeks. So I was like, that gave me the incentive. Okay, I gotta build something, amplify this, accelerate this, and see what experience people are having in the MedBed. So now the experience is ranging from healing, wellness, to consciousness, total recall, downloads, contact with higher self, contact with extraterrestrial beings, contact with interdimensional beings. So this MedBed is wellness on a higher dimensional aspect. Also means when the body begins to function right and everything is in order, then your recall begins, past lives, galactic heritage, all of this is returning, and you understand your Dharma better. A lot of people, maybe that answers the Dharmic questions, that are stuck in not knowing what their Dharma is they're photonically disconnected from their oversoul. That means the informational protocol that runs between the car and this body is disrupted. So of course, people feel lost and have no idea, because once you access that, it's like our database of the self, and that will inform you. You came actually to this planet because of this. And that is why this bed is so important for the transmission and people having basically an experience in laying in the med bed and feeling it. And it's actually more than a med bed, it's more like a hollow dynamic download of rebooting the cells. And that's where all of this comes in.
Wow. So just to be clear, is the med bed then in Mark's in your Sedona center there?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. We are on our way to Sedona even as we speak. Well, Debbie's going to be there next week, and Trish and I have been talking about going to Sedona for quite a while. So that definitely needs to happen. What do you think, Trish?
Oh, it sounds like an amazing time. I didn't realize there were so many crystals there. Like, now I want to go play with crystals. But it's amazing. I'm excited to go hang out with Tanjila and Renee and Mark and gosh, Deva and Peter, like these beautiful people. I just want to go be in their space.
Yeah,
Fit right in, Trish. You'll love it here.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah.
Those Peter speaking. Hey, while we've got Trish on camera, I want to take a moment to celebrate. Trish just graduated. And it was a big deal. And so I'm going to put the full spotlight on you, Trish. And I'd love for you to share with the audience that knows you and loves you your accomplishment.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I know some of you have been texting about why I've been gone so much. And finals had me all over the place. So a couple little things. I have graduated with 2 AAs in behavioral sciences and a certification in social work. I launched a brick and mortar wellness center and co-working space in Lakeport, California, which is near Harbin. There's something else. That's what's coming to my mind right now.
Well, we'll talk about the cure for cancer next week then.
Oh, cool.
No, seriously, congratulations, Trish. And it's a great accomplishment. And you worked your way through school. You did it without any, I'm
just stepping into a whole other thing. So I also got accepted into CIIS, the California Institute of Integral Studies, and I'll be moving through a really rapid course to finish my bachelor's in psychology in 3 semesters, which I think is going to be wildly grueling, and I'm excited about it. And I will be literally the first person in my family to graduate from college.
That's really pretty cool. And what I love about that is it's an example that we are here to heal our epigenetics and our ancestral lineage. And, your family background is a challenging one. And to be the first person in your family to be sober and to be healthy and to graduate, I'm so proud of you, Trish. So I'll give a good twinkle to our Trish, whom we love very, very much.
I've been healing a lot of ancestral generational trauma in my family life through a lot of the tools that I've learned from you, through tools that I've learned from Susan Engler and her Gestalt program, and Bridge Feltis and the Heal Thyself program. Like, there's a lot of things that have brought me to having the capacity to be able to show up in this space with you all as a more vast, loving being. So thank you for doing that.
Absolutely. Beautiful. A question maybe starting with you, Peter, kind of leading to that, again, as like it or not, you're a wise elder in our community, And what's your take on epigenetics and healing our ancestral wounding? Any thoughts that you have about that?
I think it's a huge piece. And that's when I came to Sedona, all those years ago, 30 years ago, and I lived on the land. I lived in my Volkswagen van here for 3 years in my camper van, sleeping every night out in the canyons amongst the coyotes and the spirits and the ETs and all the phenomena here, and in the vast silence there. But the canyons really became a place for me, like a sanctuary. I primarily hiked by myself, and I would hike deep into the canyons and just find a place to recapitulate my life, and go through all that ancestral clearing. I would often end up finding a place where I could just, lie on the ground and weep and sob. It was really intense for me during that period. And so that was a huge part for me to do that work. And so, yeah, I encourage everybody to go for it.
Beautiful. Hey, while we've got the camera on you, I want to point out a couple of ways that you can get more things from Peter Sterling. His primary website is harpmagic.com. And again, he's one of the world's premier harpists. He's had several #1 records on international radio charts. He's one of the leading New Age artists. And you've got a new album. It says here, buy, download, stream album. Do you want to talk about anything particular that you'd like to promote tonight?
The Winding Way is my current album that's been out this last year. And I'm actually going to Denver next week to receive an award that I won. I'm going to the International New Age Trade Show. And I won the COVR, Coalition of Visionary Resources, a Visionary Music Award. So I'm going to receive that next week. But what I'm also excited about, just briefly, is that I released a new single recently that was something that came to me this spring, and it came through very quickly. It's called The Long Cold Winter. It was a song that just dropped in one day, and I was so guided very strongly that I needed to record it, but it had this Eastern European feel to it. And my musician guitarist friend, we were just reflecting on the images that came to mind as we were playing and listening to this very strong melody and piece. And it felt like Eastern Europe during the winter months, perhaps during a war. And we thought it might be historic, like World War II. But my higher guidance, my angels, like, you need to record the song. It's very important. So I did. And then I saw this whole vision to make a music video, and which I did. And I found a wonderful award-winning animator, a young 25-year-old girl who lives in Slovenia. So I hired her to create an original work for 5 minutes for the song from beginning to end, of a hand-drawn animation about, it's really, the song is a tribute to the brave people of the Ukraine. And what I was going to say is, as I was recording it, this was before, the war broke out there. And then and I was in the middle of the production, and then the war started, and I was like, oh my God, this song is not about something from the past. It was about something that's happening now. And then we produced the video as a kind of a peace song of hope for the people of Ukraine. And then I was guided to release it around the world, which I've been doing. I submitted to several international film festivals just in the last couple of weeks, and it's already won 3 awards. It won the top honor, the Platinum Award, and the Vidya Awards out of LA, longest running video awards program since 1993. And also got accepted into the New York International Film Festival, and others are coming too. Got accepted in the Bali Film Festival, and others just in the last couple of weeks. So this music video has a life of its own. The link is in the chat here, and You can go to my YouTube channel. It's the Harp Magic is my YouTube channel. So go there, and it's just right up at the top. You can see the long cold winter, and it's a beautiful story in this music video. And the children in the end, they're putting flowers, you know, like in the 60s in the rifle guns, you know, down the into the gun, and putting down their weapons and flowers, and the sun rises again, and it's hopeful, you know. So it's a powerful little piece.
Mark is saying, Mark Danisovsky
Yeah.
is saying that his friends at the Music Conservatory of Kiev love the Long Cold Winter video.
That's how it's so magical that happened. Here's how synchronistic it is about this video. Like right as I was releasing it, I get a call. First, I get a call from a Russian woman who's here in Sedona with her husband, and she's this big social media influencer, and she found me on the internet. And so I took her and her husband out on tour. They had a 5-person film crew, and she's going through her spiritual awakening. They filmed the whole thing, and I did my whole sound healing on her. And then 2 days later, after that, I get a call out of the blue from a girl from the Ukraine who just arrived in Sedona. And she's a classically trained pianist from Kyiv. And her brother and father are still there. And I played my video for her, and she cried on my shoulder and thanked me for making it. And then Mark, you know, he sent it to his friends there. So this piece has a life of its own. It's really kind of cool to see what's happening with it. I'm very grateful.
Well, what we'll do is, I'm not in a good internet situation, but I will try and download it, embed it into my computer, so that tomorrow night, Tanjila, maybe we can show it. And so
that'd be awesome.
A lot of the people that are on this show are regulars. So just want to encourage everybody, either go to YouTube, or they're also we'll put it in the chat box again. And then Tanjila, I will download it. I'll embed it. I'll do my best. We'll do a practice run, and we'll play it tomorrow night.
Okay, wonderful. And
Awesome.
I just posted the link in the chat box too, so everyone can check it out. It's absolutely beautiful and powerful music and video, really. So thank you, Peter, for that contribution to the world. It's we love it. And Mark Danisovsky, he actually posted in our community on SoulSearch as well. And
Oh, nice.
So, but we'll repost it again, because I think, you know, we just want to keep sharing.
And if you scroll back in the chat, you will see that I posted a video along the same lines that James Twyman did with 3 young people in Kiev.
Oh, wow. I'd like to see that.
Thank you, Storm. Yeah, I'm glad you're bringing that back up. I had seen that as the chat box was flying by.
I can pull it back up and put it in again.
Please do that. Please do that. And, you know, this is a reminder.
I also posted an incredible song that Cheryl Wheeler wrote a few years ago about gun violence and the Ukrainian Now piece that was done a while ago.
Thank you, Storm. Thank you very much. And there it is. There's our beautiful Global Peace Tribe. I'm going to bring on, you know, tonight's presenters. There's Deva. And of course, we had 2 Marks. Anybody who can pronounce Mark Danisovsky's and Mark Zimzak back and forth like 5 times, you win some sort of a tongue twister award there. We got the 2 Marks with beautiful names. Here's Trish and Omashar. We didn't get a chance to hear Omashar play music tonight. But
I was waiting.
Do you have something for us tonight?
No, it would be. I mean, I could do. However, it would be awesome to hear from Peter as a closeout. How about that?
You could do that too. Yeah.
Peter, that would be wonderful.
I would love to play it a little bit more for everybody.
Seeing that sparkly lit up harp there, far out, dude. Go for it.
Are you in Shasta?
No, I'm currently in Colorado. I did live in Shasta a few moons ago. And I lived in Hawaii for a while, but I'm looking for a new space to be. Yeah. Yeah.
consider Sedona. You would be.
I am considering it.
I have a lot.
It's the crystally thing again.
Yes.
Just knowing all that, and red rocks are my love. So yeah.
Well, I love the pictures and images I see in your room there. I have a lot.
Well, most of it's real. This is not.
What is that? Wow. Okay.
That's
all
fake.
right. All right. Well, thank you everybody for everything tonight. It's been wonderful to be here, and I'll do a little improvisation to close for a minute or two, and to send everybody off into sweet dreams of love and light, of uniting our community here, our global community of light workers. And so God bless everybody.
I've got everybody on gallery view that's got their camera on. Let's twinkle.
Thank you.
That beautiful, beautiful. Oh my gosh. Oh.
My pleasure.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, Tanjila, this was a great start to our weekend together.
It's wonderful. I mean, so beautiful just to be here with all of you, the whole Global Peace Tribe. And it's just so amazing to be, here with, our incredible soul search healers, practitioners, creators, artists. And it's just been beautiful to have Peter, Mark, and Deva, as well as Ra, come and join us, really talking about the power of community and all of the work that each of us do as individuals, and then coming together and really amplifying that in and out to the world. So it's just been really beautiful and inspiring to me, and just to feel all of our collective energies coming together and really raising that vibration. And that's what it is, like in every moment of every day, us really coming together with open hearts and with all love. And that's what we're doing, one step at a time, to change the world. So I just want to thank every single person who's here, who's listening, who's watching, who's co-creating these moments with us, because it's just beautiful what everyone and all of us are doing together. So thank you so much, Scott. And thank you, Trish. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you for all you do to put all of this together. And thank you to my beautiful Sedona SoulSearch tribe that came here today and really shared all of your gifts. And thank you all for being a part of this global awakening.
Well, beautifully stated. Thank you, Tanjila. It's really fun working with you. And a reminder on two things. This is just the first of our weekend of shows. We'll be back tomorrow night with the Saturday night edition of The Awakening World and a lot of amazing presenters, all friends of Tanjila's, even more incredible people. And also great music tomorrow night, including Cornflower. And Cornflower is, of course, one of the most beloved members of Global Peace Tribe. And so we've got great music with Cornflower, and also Jaya Lakshmi will be playing music tomorrow night. So that's going to be very special. And then, of course, we've got our Sacred Sunday show. And Tanjila has put together, again, a wonderful way to conclude this weekend, a really lovely group of people for the Sacred Sunday show. Suzanne Ross, you've seen her on the show before. Kalina, Raquel, Nicole Keating is going to be co-hosting with me as Tanjila is doing her psychic fair. And then music with Andrew Daniel Cates. So that's how we're going to conclude on Sunday. And final thing I always want to remind people about is every Thursday morning. What are you doing on Thursday mornings? Well, I tell you what I'm always doing. If at all possible, I'm watching the Self-Love Show. And that's the show that Trish has been doing again since the start of the pandemic. It's a wonderful, wonderful show she does with her partner, Dawn Light. And they always have great guests. Like yesterday, they had Meg Benedicte. So Trish, thank you very much for what you do every Thursday. It's a very, very beautiful and important show. So thank you, Trish, for the Self-Love Show.
You are welcome. And we have some really, really cool guests coming up in the next few weeks. There's a poet next week who I met in Costa Rica, and her work and her songs are just so stunning. She just is very excited to share some sweet love and generosity to you. And then on the following week, a woman named, oh gosh, I want to say her name is Camden Phillips, but her last name might be wrong. But she specializes. She's a therapist who specializes in ADHD, and these two women are amazing. So keep following. We've got epic people coming up, and
Right. And yes, that's at 10 o'clock Pacific time every Thursday morning, 10 a.m. Pacific time.
You can catch it live and ask questions.
But you also have a YouTube channel, so people can go back and get replays, yeah? And you can also find it on Facebook. Simple, just go to Facebook and put in Self-Love Show. Thank you, Trish. We love you much. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy the show, please share it out with other people and other friends. We are always growing our Global Peace Tribe. Also a reminder that Deborah Giusti is now doing the Making Contact series on Thursday nights. And they've got some great guests coming up. And I look forward to being with Tanjila and her friends and seeing all of you tomorrow night. So have a great Saturday day. Have a good Friday night, what's left of it. A great Saturday day. And look forward to seeing all of you tomorrow. Take care, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.